very good evening, sir. Thanks for joining us. Today we have Dr. William Selva-Murthy with us, who is presently president in Amity University. Sir, I am having a set of questions which are not from your expertise for sure, but this is something we really need to take care of now in the present scenario. We all know students are running towards money. They are not focused upon the skills. They are opting for the courses which are highly paid. I think the best example is engineering. I'm sure even you agree with the same point. So,
Right.
yeah, right. So, what change we can bring, or what measures we can take to change this mentality? Skill set is more important rather than running towards the highly paying jobs.
Yeah. See, we are currently in the knowledge era. Knowledge is money. Knowledge is power.
Right.
See, we had agricultural era, industrial era, information era, and now we are in knowledge era. So in this knowledge is money. So people are looking for knowledge. Knowledge, not only material knowledge, but even spiritual knowledge to be resilient. Because if you have to be successful, happy in life, one should have that dimension of knowledge as well. So in the knowledge era, India will play a pivotal role in transformation in education itself, because we will be churning out the future global citizens. So if you look at the world today, 7 billion people, out of which 1.3 billion people are here in India. And the knowledge workers in this new knowledge era will come from India and China, because the demographic advantage, if you see the population today, 50% of this 1.3 billion people is below the average age of 25 years. So that's the most creative, innovative, and also productive phase of one's life. So that population is available. So here, as you rightly said, it is just not only theoretical knowledge, but you need to have competence. You need to have skills to execute, translate that into an action and
Right.
on ground. So you need the skills. So certainly the students, are attracted towards where the opportunity is. Because in this material world, one is not only like to be a scientist, but then one would like to earn money as well. So that's a change, psychosocial change. It's a part of human evolution. So you cannot, but this education should adapt to this change. Even somebody is going to IT or where you may not require that type of the knowledge, skills to design a system through engineering or to translate them into a product, technology, or a process. Just sitting in the computer in air-conditioned room, and which pays very heavily. You don't need really that kind of knowledge and the application of that knowledge. So it's more of the skills in IT that is sufficient enough to fetch a high remuneration. But there are people who are looking for a challenging job as well, because it's a large population. So people want to be creative, innovative. So when there is a large section of the population who are looking towards that kind of soft jobs, and which is more oriented to IT, computer software, and so on. But there are people taking into agriculture, medicine, and biomedical research, life sciences research, engineering. So there are people, because since we have a large number, so we will still have to cater for that population who are seeking admission. But certainly engineering colleges, why many seats are vacant? It's because the country has opened up many engineering colleges without really looking into what will be the need and projections of the need. But I will still feel that we will be churning out the knowledge workers even for other globes. So only thing we need to adopt, update our educational system in such a way that we will assume leadership role. So that is where the curriculum design, the pedagogy, and soft skills development, resilience building, all that we need to build so we develop a good human being rather than only the knowledge workers. So that is where Indian education system will have. So 1 in 4 of every professional in many fields will be an Indian across the globe. They would have passed through the portals of Indian education system at some point. This is where the responsibility on India will produce a holistic human being. This is what we do in Amit University, for example, and also president of Amity Science, Technology and Innovation Foundation for all Amity institutions in India and abroad. So we are creating the future global citizens who will be endowed with knowledge, skills, soft skills, the resilience to face challenges, opportunities, and also even failures in life. And so we are also promoting creativity, innovation, problem-solving ability. So the educational system is not numbers. Educational system is not marks and grades. It is actually the knowledge, skills, and the ability to withstand the challenges and opportunities.
Right.
And then make use of them to contribute to the society development.
So still, my question remains same here. If I conclude, as you said, there are few measures we all are taking in order to understand students, like they should not run towards money. Ultimately, obviously, we all know money is a need. After all, if students studying in some curriculum, they have some expectation. Yes, I'll earn X amount of money after passing out from the college. But is there any peer pressure or something they are facing in it? Maybe from society, maybe from family, other surroundings. So how to reduce that pressure?
See, it is again, as I said, it's a psychosocial change. Earlier, the accomplishments or the recognition of a person will be just not only based on money, the possessions, positions, which are now being valued more. So naturally, in the home, if somebody gets 98% marks, immediately it's glorified. A person gets a higher award prize, immediately they are recognized and honored. But if somebody has shown a good human value, displayed a good human value, and integrity was displayed, and the child spoke the truth, that must be equally awarded, honored, cherished. And so, that type of system in future global citizens, you need to promote those kind of empathy, compassion. So all this we need to build. But then that transformation will through education. But it is a reality that children today look for a lucrative job and want to start earning and be self-reliant at the earliest. So if you have to do engineering, you need to do undergraduate, then you need to postgraduate, then you need to do doctorate in some cases. So it takes a long period of time. So if you really look at an IT, even a pass out from +2 will be able to get a job. Or a person with an undergraduate degree is sufficient enough to get a job. But then, so the students are looking at the time taken for a person to earning money. It starts for a scientist or a science graduate to earn. It takes, let's say, 3 years undergraduate, 2 years masters, and then 5 years doctorate. You can imagine almost 10 years. But the child is impatient today to see the money. That is where the problem. So what they are looking for is how soon I can earn money. That is where the IT comes in. So it is just not only the money which is given by this IT group in terms of salaries, remunerations, and quick money. They may not grow to a person with a scientist, quick money. So that is the trend today, but I'm sure the change will happen. And once we make the other jobs also very attractive, we should make it more attractive in terms of remuneration. A job a PhD will earn after 10 years should be lucrative in such a way that they will be attracted. That is one.
Should we do that from maybe from their upbringing itself? Example,
yes.
As you said, the rewards is not similar. If someone is getting 98% and if someone is doing a good, showing a good human behavior, right?
Yes.
So the reward is not similar. So I think the reward should be similar at the end. of the day for the kid.
Exactly. Because it is the Pavlovian principle of reward and punishment.
Right.
So if the reward is there, there is a reinforcement. So this is what we should show in the family itself, the mother, father, the parents, relatives. In the family ecosystem itself, you should promote
We
that.
should incorporate it.
Recognizing, cherishing, motivating, and reinforcing the
Right.
positivity towards the integrity, personality, behavior, good behavior, sanskars. These must be promoted. So that is where education is just not only in universities and schools and colleges, but it is actually at home. It starts first at home. So that is where the parents, since they are now busy, both are working, and now this in COVID situation, they can do an introspection. Each one of us should introspect that are we really paying attention to the holistic development of my child? It's not the marks, the numbers which are important. They are important. But then that is not the only thing which is important in life. So this is where, and then each one is unique. That uniqueness has to be honored, recognized. Each child has its own talents.
We are seeing a large number of students who are getting graduated from colleges.
Right.
They lack creativity and critical thinking. So what measures can be taken to improve this thing?
The whole educational system should be a continuous evaluation, and it should encourage right from childhood the lateral thinking, divergent thinking. A child asks, why moon is only round? Why it's not square? People should know it is only round. We don't like to encourage that kind of the exotic thinking. And so these are all very vital to promote. Yes, why can't it be square? So immediately, the child is imagining something. We should promote that imagination, inquisitiveness. And that is how the creativity comes in. If everybody saw an apple falling, but then Newton recognized that it is due to gravity.
Right.
So he proposed a theory. So it all that will come only if you allow right from childhood onwards. The child is the best scientist. Every time it questions why it is not like this, why it is like this, why it's like this. So that is where the parents should promote. Similarly, in the school, if a child has written something different from the routine answer, the reply which you have to give it to a question, we should in fact promote that. If it has got something added, something differently, which is not the right answer, but then even that approach to think differently should be encouraged. So that is, then when you come to colleges, universities, we should look into flipped class. The child should be made to learn themselves. Today knowledge is open source. If you just open Google, you get all the knowledge what you want. The classroom becomes redundant, in fact. You want to see thermodynamics or you want to do something on biotechnology, everything is available. So that is why it is very essential to make even the curriculum pedagogy. So we should actually look at that kind of pedagogy, designing of curriculum, and the method of delivery. So it should be that children learn themselves, and whatever doubts they have, whatever ideas they have, that will be discussed in the classrooms. So the whole delivery of the curriculum has to change. It should be more hands-on rather than only computers, PowerPoints. You should make to solve problems, just not only memorize and then vomit it in the examination and get the marks. So we must be able to generate that interest, passion, inquisitiveness through education, rather than only just spoon feeding what is already known in the textbooks.
Right.
And so the whole curriculum needs to be
redesigned. So altogether, we should start from the very beginning, from very childhood of them, to promote critical thinking, to leave behind our orthodox way of writing answer. We should promote creative writing, and should not run after
short projects,
and
also
also
group discussion.
And if we see in the higher education, we can move towards flipped learning and more practical learning, practical based learning. We should more look
Absolutely.
So initially, organization demands degree or skills. It's still a question in everyone's mind, because obviously we all know skill is something without which you can't survive in an organization, wherever you are. It may be IT sector, it may be medical, it may be pharmacy, it may be law, anything. So, do you think degree is important? And if not, if skills are important, then why corporate organization consider degree as a priority, and they won't allow people who have maybe backlogs in their interviews? So what's your
Yes.
say about it?
See, degree is a basic requirement. Because you have a large population coming for a job, there must be some way to filter out the
Mhm.
people. You cannot employ all of them, and you want the best of them. So you need that as one parameter. The degree, holding a degree is one parameter. It's not the only parameter. But today, corporates and the every company looks for even soft skills, not just only skills. They are looking for soft skills, because communication abilities, then leadership qualities, and also the resilience in them. So they are doing a multifarious, even personality assessment happens in the employment, in the selections, recruitments. So that is why the companies are using these grades and marks as one parameter. It may not be necessary that the highest performer with the distinction or a very highest degree, A++ or something, will be selected. They are looking for a holistic person today to be successful in a corporate environment as well. So that is why now the trend of even recruitment and employment is changing. And they are looking for the academic performance, which indicates the knowledge base. And then they are looking for what they have done extraordinary outside the subject, extracurricular activities, co-curricular activities, skill, competence certificates. And in addition to a mechanical engineer, they may, if a person has a competence certificate or specialization with automobile engineering, it's preferred. So they are now looking, corporates are looking for such kind of profile rather than only marks.